Here I am taking apart my joiner. Getting the screws out was pretty easy. Getting the spindle out of the machine was hard, until I figured out to change the input and output feed tables, and then it opened up wider so I could get out the spindle. It felt good when I get it out. Then I put the spindle assembly in the vise and started hitting it to try to get it apart. And trying to get the snap rings out that were holding the bearings in place. These are big snap rings. Used a 3-jaw wheel puller on a 4-sided object here. That's not easy. And here you can see I got a snap ring out after about 2 days. So got a bearing that's stuck in there. So I have to make a tool. I'm making a tool that's the right size for hammering on the outer race of a bearing without pounding on the inner ring. And here it is on top of the vise. With a sledgehammer, I'm going to hit this thing, and it knocked it right out. It's down there at the bottom of the vise now. We're again seeing the bearing got knocked out. That was a great accomplishment. And here's what we'd like to assemble all together if we could make these things go together. And here's a drawing with what they sent for a key at the very top and what I made for a key at the very bottom. And how I made a key in 2 hours rather than just filing theirs down for 10 minutes was by first cutting off the scale of the hot rolled steel. And then I took the hot rolled steel over to the bandsaw and cut some of it off. If this were wood, we'd say we're ripping at this point. So here we have a piece of steel we've cut off. So what are we going to do with it? We're going to put it in the mill and turn it into a key. But first we go over and file it with a file to try to get some burrs off the inside. And we're measuring the thickness. And here we see that it fits into the shaft. It fits into the pulley. And after much fooling around with burrs inside the pulley, it's going to fit into both of them, fitting in the shaft here. It's going to fit into both of them at the same time. So we're going to use our tool one more time. We're going to use it to put snap rings in. The snap rings were a real fight getting them out and getting them back in. These are strong snap rings. Here we're using the vise to press it bearing into the pillow block. And here we're using our tool that we made to keep the snap ring from going too far down in the pillow. And here we made a tool to pound the inner race over the shaft. And here we see that the new bearing has been captured by the snap ring. And here we've got the 2 pillow blocks assembled with bearings and all of our cutters. And here we've polished the pillow blocks to try to get them to slide back into the joiner. And here we're pounding on that tool, which is basically a pipe that could just hit the inner race to get it over the shaft. And here we put the pillow blocks back into the joiner, and we can see that we've got the shaft sticking out. So we're going to put a pulley on it. There's the pulley. We're going to rotate the pulley so that the key slots line up in the shaft and the pulley. And then we're going to shove in our key, and we're going to keep shoving it in, keep shoving it in, shove it in further. Look, the key's all the way in the pulley in the shaft. Now we're going to cover that up with a screw and a washer. Now we're going to test the whole thing. See if she runs. Pick up a board. Show the camera, would you please? Show the cut. There we go. It's working. It's working. It was all worth it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.